Well, this sure is going to be a short video, isn't it? Hello, Goblins and Ghouls. My name is GhostGuy29, and I would once again like to thank you for spreading your love and appreciation for my last video. We are almost at 500 subscribers, so if you could keep sharing, liking, and subscribing, doing whatever you could, that would mean the world to me. Oh, and also go check out my TikTok account. There isn't that much on there yet, but there will be as time rolls on. With the shilling of my own channel out of the way, let's talk about how with a 56% vote on the poll, beating out LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2 and the LEGO Movie video game once again, you all seem to really not want that game to win, LEGO Batman 2 is the subject of this video. For more information, LEGO Batman 2 was released on June 19th in 2012, and was the first ever LEGO game to feature voice acting in its work, which is really impressive. This is also the game I played the most when I was younger, along with LEGO Marvel Super Heroes obviously, so I have a lot of memories from this. As always, the rules of this challenge are no bonus levels, as they come after the main game, and no DLC levels, as they don't add to the percentage in any way. And with all that out of the way, let us see if I can answer the question. Can I 100% LEGO Batman 2 before I beat the game? The first level, Theatrical Pursuits, starts off in a similar way to LEGO DC Supervillains, with a news report about the start of the game from one Miss Vicky Vale, telling us that the Man of the Year rewards are going on, with famous billionaire playboy Bruce Wayne and the bald man from Metropolis taking the lead. At the actual event, we see the bald man, Lex Luthor, step out of a limo, and then immediately see Bruce Wayne step out of a slightly longer limo and upstage him. Inside the event, Bruce is surrounded by women, while Lex talks to one woman. Sad, but hey, the winner is about to be announced.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. This year's Man of the Year award goes to Bruce Wayne.
Next year, buddy.
Despise that guy.
What's going on? I don't know.
Who has been there for you? One man who has made it his mission to improve the lives of people around him. He has remodeled our buildings, helped keep our banks free of unnecessary clutter. You have always shown your appreciation. And why stop now?
Yeah, the Joker is here to take the award. He's also brought his merry gang of misfits to cause a ruckus as well. But, as Joker is about to give his speech of acceptance, Batman and Robin appear through the screen and crash in. The Joker, along with a few other villains that I will mention as we go on, dip out through the stage door, leaving us to fight Harley Quinn first. But as always, we put in the first set of codes: attract studs, multiple types of finders, the studs ×2 multiplier, and a new one, extra hearts, which I accidentally closed while it was showing. After busting a few tables and helping some people, we rebuilt the stairs to get up to Harley Quinn, and then go into the first technical boss fight with her. It lies in the same lane as LEGO Marvel Super Heroes, where you just hit them 3 times and bam, you win. Here, we hit her with a batarang, wait for her to go over to the next pillar, and then hit her again. After the third hit, she falls through the floor that the other villains jump through, which we jump into to follow her. On her stage, we find the band practicing, along with a moving trombone, I want to say. It's hard to tell what the instrument is, but inside it is the Riddler, the next person we have to beat the crap out of. And just a little side note here, for just a split second, we can see him just before he disappeared. Bad coding, am I right? Chasing him through, we unlock our first suit, the sensor suit. And by unlock, I mean we just see it now. The suits don't function in the same way as LEGO Batman 3. So we can't just switch between suits on the fly. We have to go to these little platform things. Sneaking through, beating up a henchman, and then pulling these switches, we are led to a box with the Riddler hiding in it. Using the built-in X-ray on the suit, we hit him with very heavy weights, somehow not killing him or snapping his neck, and then construct the elevator up to the next part of the level. The next part takes us up to the lounge, where we get the acrobat suit, aka the ball suit, for Robin, and swing up to the second half of the floor, where we run into Two-Face for the next pseudo fight, where he's hanging from the chandelier like he's Sia. I mean, the hair even looks the same. We have to first get him down using the ball mentioned earlier, but when I was doing it, for some reason, I couldn't break this final chair with my fist. When I did break it using the batarang, I built the ball holder and rolled down the chandelier, and then once again cheated another fight by being invisible. We go upstairs and run into Joker, who gives a shocking greeting with a hand buzzer. We let Robin get shocked a few times, thank God this isn't Todd, until Joker gets on the projector where, using the X-ray once again, we launch him off it and out the window. We get out there and into another quick cutscene where we just watch Joker escape on his boat. Outside now, we get to the ground and build the first of many terminals so we can summon Robin's helicopter and fly into the next level, harboring a criminal. However, as we start the level and the cutscene, Robin is blinded and crashes the helicopter, so we have to go and grab the bricks to rebuild it. The first set of bricks is already on the ground, so we build that. Then the second set requires us to unlock the next two suits, the power suit for Batman and the magnet suit for Robin. And it definitely didn't take me 6 tries to get up there because of janky physics. No way, Jose. When I did get up, I grappled onto the banner and then to the roof. I climb across to release the next set of bricks, build them, and then bring Batman up to get the final set of bricks. Going over and across just to go back over and across higher up, we get the final set of bricks and repair the helicopter so we can chase the Joker. In the cutscene following that, we see the Joker with Bruce Wayne's Man of the Year trophy, and then slaps his face on it. However, if you look really closely and slow down the footage, you can see the sticker is not tracking with the trophy. After that, we launch into the next section, which is a long chase section that I will just skip over because it is boring, and go to the next cutscene where Batman hits the Joker's boat into the parking lot of the fairgrounds and into the next part of the level. Joker pulls out a bazooka and starts firing at us, so we have to fire back at him. Luckily, the bricks we need to make our own cannon are in this bulldozer, which I accidentally brought down and killed Batman and Robin with. Whoopsie! We hit the Joker with a cannonball, and then he starts throwing electric pies at us. We climb up the side of the entrance to the fairgrounds, pull out the sign, and drop it on him. He then whips out a big-ass bumper core, or as Joker calls it, a dodgems, and starts to shoot at us once more. This part was very simple, as all we did was blow it up, build a hammer, and then drop it on him. Another cutscene plays where the Joker gets trapped in a net, and then the most famous line is heard once the big ass himself shows up.
Bruce, it's been 5 years. You still owe me $16. Fuck off.
After we reject giving him the $16, we drove back to the Batcave and into another cutscene where we cut over to Arkham Asylum, where the Joker is currently in prison. The starting cutscene makes Clark Kent say this.
Along with the title, Goon of the Year.
Come on, Superman, why do you say that stupid line? When the guy that is supposed to be watching him walks away, Joker is left to his own devices, which lets someone break him out. That someone just so happens to be Lex Luthor. Lex shows off the big-ass gun he has, called the Deconstructor, which does sciencey stuff that tears apart black objects. He needs the Joker's help because it runs on kryptonite, so he makes the deal that if Joker supplies Lex with some Joker gas so he can win the election to become president, he will give him the Deconstructor to break down all of Batman's fun toys. On their way out, Joker blasts some cell walls open with the Deconstructor, causing a mass breakout of villains, which sends a signal to Batman's computer as he is on call with Martian Manhunter and the rest of the Justice League. So we have to drive over there, which I didn't do, and decided to do a small bit of collecting, which involved getting the most advanced car ever, the Pumpkin Mobile. After getting that, we rode off to Arkham and the third level, Arkham Asylum Antics. The cutscene starts and shows we have to catch a few villains on vehicles in the Arkham maze, being Catwoman on her bike, Two-Face, Harley the Riddler, and some random prisoner on Two-Face's truck, and then finally Bane, Ivy, and the Penguin on Bane's drill tank. Actually getting into the maze, we do exactly what I said and chase them into the maze. This level is pretty simple and kind of short, since it's only one section, so I'll speed you through it. We make Catwoman drive into a fence and splat on the wall, get Two-Face to spin sideways and drive over a statue we threw down using the new bat suit that Batman got and flip his truck, and then finally make Bane swerve into a dead end after freezing a wall with Robin's ice suit. Side note, when I was blowing up the statue to release the water to freeze it, one of the missiles kind of just went Before Bane actually reaches the dead end, we go to the next cutscene where he digs into the ground and then launches his drill into a wall. The next level is Asylum Assignment, which is a simple walk away, and is one of the few times I will mention something about Miss Vale's part of the cutscene, since it mentions something funny.
Hey, at least the mayor's plan to let them loose in some vast walled-off area in the heart of the city got put on hold. Now that would never have ended well.
Arkham City was released a year prior, so this is kind of like a little funny meta gag. The actual level has us going into Arkham to find out how Joker broke out. When they get to the elevator that is supposed to take them to Joker's cell, it in fact drops them. We have to get across a few cells to get out, starting with Crocs, which requires us to do this back and forth with Robin's hazmat suit and Batman's electric suit. We do get across, we have to go up to the next cell, which happens to be Mr. Freeze's cell. We basically kill him by flooding his cell to get across a wall we end up refreezing anyway. What was the point of that? Taking the elevator that is right next to his cell for some reason, what is this infrastructure? We go up to see my personal favorite Batman villain, the Scarecrow, leaving a fire to deal with. We go over to another ball suit and have to roll out another one of Batman's sensor suits, so we can sneak by these cameras and turn them off to let Robin in. We then chase Scarecrow into this x-ray machine, where we fight some escapees, which kind of reminds me of the hallway fight from Oldboy, or if you want to be more accurate, the x-ray fight scene in the Lego Batman movie. We get across and beat up some more escapees and get over to... Alright. We get over to a set of stairs that Scarecrow is on, and have to do a puzzle to unlock the stairs and get up to the stairs. Jesus, I wrote stairs too much. We get over to a set of stairs the Scarecrow is on, and have to do a puzzle to unlock them, and get up them to the boss fight against Scarecrow. In his room, he throws fear toxin at us, making himself seem bigger than he is. We beat him as he throws the pods, and then climb up to turn on some fans and suck out the gas. We beat him some more, and then kick him through the door, then finally make it to Joker's cell. We found the hole in the wall and took some of the pieces to scan at the Batmobile. Batman learns that it was Lex that broke him out, and then learns the Joker has broken into Ace Chemicals. Oh, also all the villains broke out in the background. Now, before we got to Ace Chemicals, I decided to get all the unlockables I could since we opened up more of Gotham. Which sure was a choice I made. Hey, yeah, let me tell you all about it. Come along, kids. Hi, welcome back to the green screen. Miss it? So, as the gameplay of me doing everything in the background plays, well, in the background, I'm going to explain to you the nightmare that is the gold bricks of the game's free roam. For a good example, let me pull up this meme, the mental gymnastics meme. Starting at the bottom, this is how you have to do the puzzles normally. Going through a bunch of nonsense that sometimes has you switching between the same two costumes over and over. That leads to the gold brick. These puzzles make no sense because you could start a block away and then end on the puzzle. However, the top of it is how you play it once you beat the game, which sadly I can't do. Because basically, this is just going to the end of the puzzle where the gold brick is, using whatever character I need to unlock it. For instance, Manvat on a glass cage, and then bam, I have it. However, unlike the other 3 games so far, this game doesn't let you choose those characters you unlock until free play, until the end of the game. That's how much nonsense this game has. And I had to spend 2.5 days doing this. Which, hey, not a lot compared to the other games I have done so far. Lego DC Supervillains. But still, when I have to do it like this over and over again, it's not fun. Anyway, back to the couch. Yeah, all of that, but there were some interesting moments that happened during all of this. For the first half, there was this.
Mad? Me? Oh, very well then.
The fact I somehow glitched into Ivy's dome, a bus flinging the Batmobile, and this little tip I'm going to tell you about. Apparently, if you go to this very specific rooftop, get the bat suit, and just use its glide ability over the wall, you can just get over there and unlock the third half of Gotham easily. Plus, if you go over to the metro station on that half and unlock the terminal next to it, you can just get the metro system and get between each side more easily without having to do the gliding over and over. We also use more codes to get a lot more red bricks because, as I stated before on the green screen, you can't unlock any of the red bricks since they are locked behind Joker and Riddler boxes, which you can only use in free play. You couldn't actually get a majority of the red bricks, just not the multipliers. Also, during all the free play stuff, I went around and beat some of the mini bosses. Not really bosses, since you beat them in the same way, except for Ivy, who you have to chase around her dome for a fight. You know, if he had it, Batman could have just got her with his Bat credit card, since he never liked to pay for that. After dealing with all that, we continue onward to the third of the way through checkpoint level, Chemical Crisis. Once again, I must mention Vickyville's section because she talks about the man himself, Killer Moth. Hell yeah, brother! In the actual cutscene, Batman and Robin enter a chemical plant, finding the Joker has made a mess all over. Starting the level, we have to run around Ace collecting some materials while dealing with Joker's henchmen. When we get to the final element, it turns out that Joker had collected promethium, xenon, mercury, tantalum, and dialum. Before we can find out what it is he is making, the building explodes. So we have to make a mad dash all the way across the factory as everything falls apart around us, and the Joker's face appears in the fire. As we get to the platform that is semi-safe, we have to jump a big gap to safety. However, we don't make it, but Superman dives in and saves us, getting us to the next part of the level where yet again we have to start running from the fire till we get to the roof. On the roof, we have to get across the gap to get to the other side where the water tower is. When it falls, Superman carries Batman and Robin to safety. After Superman leaves, Batman gives a little speech of how you can't rely on anyone, and there's going to be a moral at the end of this, I can already tell. Oh, also, all the chemicals we found made a substance that closely resembles kryptonite. Cool. Using a kryptonite tracker, we find that there's a big-ass van driving around with a bunch of fake kryptonite in the center of town. However, before we actually chased it down, I went around and decided to buy all the million stud vehicles, such as Bane's Mole Machine, Harley Quinn's monster truck, and the actual truck that we would be chasing, the LexCorp Juggernaut. And because I thought it would be funny, I drove the Juggernaut to chase the Juggernaut, which was really slow. I had to park it in one spot just so I could catch it, which took several minutes. Inside the Juggernaut, where the next level chemical signature will take place, Lex and Joker are cooking up some kryptonite.
Lex! It's a boy!
This level also has a long chase, so skip! On the inside of the van, we have to get up and around onto the roof and then use the Batwing to blow a hole in the front of the Juggernaut and go back inside. Inside, we find where the fake kryptonite is being held, so we have to break these shield generator things and steal it. We get knocked out of the Juggernaut to the Batmobile, so Joker uses the deconstructor on the car. Since the car is a mess, we have to use Robin's bike to drive back to the Batcave for the next level, Unwelcome Guest. Yes, these levels are that quick. In the cave, we find out that the kryptonite that Joker and Lex made can't actually harm Superman, so they toss it in with the rest of the kryptonite they have, just in case Superman goes evil. But it turns out that the kryptonite they had was actually a tracking device that Joker and Lex used to get to the Batcave. Very smart. So now we have to fight Lex and Joker using the different Bat vehicles we have at our disposal, including the Batcycle, which got deconstructed, the Batwing, which got deconstructed, and the Batboat, which, you guessed it, got deconstructed. So we ran to the elevator to try and escape a rolling coin the Joker releases on us, but then the Joker also deconstructs the elevator, so we are kinda just left hanging around. Joker and Lex then break into the safe of kryptonite and take what they can before the exploding pies that Joker threw around, well, explode. Batman and Robin, mainly Robin, call for Superman to save them from certain death. He doesn't show up. Thus, our heroes are crushed to death by a falling rock, and the game is over. Oh my god, it's Superman! Yeah, he was a bit late because of a volcano somewhere. Superman, Batman, and Robin make their way up the shaft into the big-ass showroom. And look, the exit is right there! Well, long way around it is. Doing the long way around, like everything else in this game, requires a lot of backtracking, slow plank walking, and barely anything to make it speed up, besides my editing. When we get everything together, I got distracted with rotating the dinosaur and did this whole thing. I have no idea what I'm doing anymore when I play this. I just kind of do what I do. Anyway, after actually getting up and out, we get into another cutscene where Joker and Lex notice that the Batcave is under Bruce Wayne's house, and they have a small conversation where Lex says his catchphrase for this game.
Hey, isn't that Bruce Wayne's mansion?
Bruce Wayne really despised that guy.
Take a shot every time he says that. Back in the Batcave, Superman attempts to help Bats with rebuilding it, but accidentally picks up the safe instead.
You know what was in there? What? Kryptonite.
After that, I spent another 2 days doing everything with Superman. Why? Because it's the same nonsense as earlier. There are specific gold bricks that only he can do because of his laser vision and flight, along with specific villains only he can get to and fight, like Brainiac, Zod, and Sinestro, because of his strength, and again, flight. To keep a very long story short, nothing interesting happens, so let's just go on to the next level, Destination Metropolis. The start of the level has Batman and Superman chasing down the big old jet that Lex and Joker escaped in, which is another long section, so skip! Superman and Batman land on the entrance of the jet, and we have to laser open a gate. Inside, someone on Lex's payroll decides it's a smart idea to fly a jet inside with a grapple point on the front. Pull it, hit him, done. I think we killed the man, though. We go up and through the door, only to get stopped by a massive pit of kryptonite for like 5 seconds before we build a cover for it, and then continue on. In the next room, we ran into the Jetpack Boys. These guys were so annoying. They just kept running me over continuously, and I could barely get a hit on them until I switched over to Superman when I had a free chance. After that, we used a jetpack to blow up these metal crates, blocking off these vents to stop henchmen from coming in. Also blowing up these crates, we take out a missile from the undercarriage. Using laser vision on the back, we launch the missile at the door, which doesn't seem like the smartest choice, but then again, that's coming from me. We get up to the cockpit and up to the roof where we break glass and get to the 2 villains. However, Joker pulls a lever and Batman falls through. Not Superman, just Bats. So, Supes flies out to catch him, but in a bit of fun, tosses him up and it makes a little bat symbol in the moon. Over in Metropolis, we see Lex and his scientists working on something big and Gundam-shaped. Or Eva-shaped. Or Gunman-shaped. Pick your favorite mech anime and go with that. Back in Gotham, we have to take Superman and Batman over to Metropolis to see what they are doing for the next level, research and development. Superman holds Batman by the cape and carries him over to Metropolis till they reach LexCorp and have to talk to his receptionist.
We're here to see Lex Luthor.
And you are?
Seriously?
Seriously.
I'm Superman. He's Batman.
Are those last names?
Even his receptionist is evil.
Just one name each.
Like Madonna.
Oh, I see. You're down here. Mr. Luthor is expecting you. First elevator.
Whoops, looks like we gotta fight them now. And oh god, they fly now? They fly now! After blowing up the receptionist and wasting Luthor's probably hundreds in repairs on his robots and his main hull, we go up the elevator to the next floor. On the next floor, we have to get around kryptonite barriers. While getting through those barriers, I somehow trick-shot a missile onto this mug. On the other side of the room, we have to take another elevator up, where on this room, they are testing out a bigger version of the Deconstructor, which we get to play with. We get to deconstruct a replica Batbike, Batmobile, and... Behind the wall is a big fan, which we ride up to the next floor, which has just a bunch of vents producing a bunch of kryptonite gas somehow, and then across the room to the final floor, and the best floor at that, but I won't jump the gun just yet. On this floor, we have to laser open another door, and then rebuild a console so we can control a mech project, and have an all-out mech fight! I mean, it's a simple fight where you treat it like a bull, but it's still fun. Now I can jump the gun. On the other side of the room, we take another elevator up to see the reveal of the Joker mech, which... yeah, it's pretty much every kind of mech. Eva, Gundam, etc., etc. Anyway, Batman and Superman attempt to fight back, but Superman gets blasted by kryptonite, and Batman gets treated like polities.
Wow! Did not expect that!
But it turns out that they switched costumes in the elevator, and they weren't really killed. Huzzah! So we take off after Joker and Lex in the mech back to Gotham, with Batman taking one of Lex's jets and chase them into the next level, down to Earth. For the final time, I mentioned Vicky Vale's section as she gets heated over Batman not being here.
Batman, if you're listening, this is a bad time for a vacation. Gotham City needs you. We've got creeps on every corner. Clayface, Two-Face, all these dudes with weird faces. They're out and they're causing trouble, and we need you to stop them. Come on, get back here.
Another long chase thing where we get ass blasted by the way, but still, skip! We ride the robot. Nope, that doesn't sound right. We get on top of the nope, still not right. We get the robot from the nope, definitely not. Going back to the first thing with riding the robot, we blow up the vents at the back while Lex shoots at us. We successfully break it still, but Lex flashes Superman with a lot of kryptonite and makes him fall to the ground. So, it's Batman's turn to save him, but not before he breaks something on the mech and makes it crash. When they land, we find out that blast from the kryptonite made Superman super sick. Which doesn't make sense since he has been hit by kryptonite this entire game, and only now is affected. Still, we need to get over to them, and since Superman is out of commission, and the Batmobile is still busted, I think it's time for the return of the true hero of this game, the Pumpkin Mobile. We take it and drive over to the metro that the Joker Gundam had crashed at for our almost done checkpoint level, Underground Retreat. This level starts with the Joker Gundam spraying his stuff all over some people till Batman throws a batarang at him and gets punched through the ground with Superman into the metro station. For this level, we have to deal with 6 Superman, which basically means nothing except that he can't fly. We get past debris, rubble, massive mech feet, you sickos, and get to the second station. In this part, we have to get past a train and then past this wall. When we do, we get grabbed by the Joker Gundam and pulled up to the other half of the floor where we were already on. We then have to laser the hand that the Joker Gundam bursts through the ceiling to try and stop us with. When we do, he flees and unblocks the only functional train that is left. Hopping on the train, we have to dash to the front, taking out Joker Goons and Lex bots alike, and hopping over electrical floors. When we make our stop, we hop off and go back to the street. Up top, the Joker Gundam has made its stop at the town hall, and there's only one way we can get there. The goddamn Pumpkin Mobile! We race to City Hall, and before we get into the level, can we just admire the Joker Gundam's design for a second? God, it's so cool. You know, fun fact, in the classic Lego game, Lego Dimensions, the Joker Gundam, or proper name Jokerbot, makes a surprise appearance in one of the levels, where he took one of the portal keystones and some pollution from the Simpsons power plant to power it. Yeah, that game was weird. Nostalgia aside, it's time for the next level, the next president. Lex is giving a small speech to the citizens of Gotham when Joker sprays them with his gas to convince/mind control them into voting for Lex before Batman and Superman show up, and I definitely didn't get a Windows pop-up that appeared and I couldn't close it during this cutscene, no sir! In the actual level, we have to get up to the Joker Gundam's arm and destroy the flower that is spraying the audience. When we do, the flower explodes and we get flung onto the clock of City Hall. Seeing that we survived a small throw, the Joker Gundam punches the clock tower and... How does Superman fly if he's sick? Is he faking it? We get on the roof for the next flight and have to blind the Gundam twice before Superman rips the flower off. And just before the villains can take off again, Superman punches a hole through the Joker's Gundam. Kryptonite be damned! Because of that move, Joker decides to point the deconstructor on the arm at Batman to rip him apart. But before he actually kills Batman, Robin pulls up in a more colorful Batmobile to block the beam, saving us. We then drive back over to the leaking monster and decide to tick it off and into a chase for the next level, Core Instability. And since the entire level is just one big chase, we shall skip for one last time. Skip! Turns out, Batman was leading the mech on a massive goose chase to paint Joker's face all over the streets of Gotham.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's also visible from space, you idiot!
Yeah, it is visible from space, and because of that, Martian Manhunter calls in the Justice League to help Batman in Gotham, which includes Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, and Cyborg. Since their plan went awry, Lex decides to say his catchphrase for this game and change plans.
Dude.
Well, I do despise Bruce Wayne.
Shut. Ah, fuck, that was a bad idea. We race over to Wayne Tower to deal with the Joker Gundam for the second to last level of the game, Tower Defense. Joker starts taking apart the power, so Supes and Batman have to rush in to try and fix it, but can barely keep it together. when thankfully Wonder Woman swoops in to help pull the tower by the top. Batman takes Robin, Cyborg, and Green Lantern inside so they can face off with the robot that is slowly climbing the tower like King Kong. Inside, we also get a simple tip from Alfred that says, Cyborg has a laser eye. This is the only one I point out just because it felt so funny to say this one simple thing. Anyway, we make our way up the floors to Wayne Tower, freezing water to climb up, blowing up access vents to fans, and using Green Lantern's rings to fly planes into the tower.
Can I even put that in the script?
We take the exit that just so happens to be on the inside of the fan to the tippy top of the tower for our face-off with the Joker Gundam. We make our way across and build a cannon to start firing it. When we hit him enough, we once again use Green Lantern's ring to create a train and fire at him, knocking him down, which leads to everyone jumping after him. When we reach the mech and land on it, we have to play Pop Goes the Weasel with Joker and hit him when he is out and not shooting at us. Do that a few times, and boom, we beat the level. The mech crashes into the ground, and with the help of Flash and Green Lantern, we rebuild the tower's support. And it is then we reach the final level of the game, Heroes Unite. The level starts, and we're already taking down these bots left and right. We use Batman's electricity suit to drain his hand so he can drain the spout in his arm. Then we go over and drain the other arm, and finally, we beat the loving hell out of the Joker, letting each hero get at least one hit on him. And finally, the fight is over. The day is saved, and oh fuck, I forgot about Lex backup mech. From the top row, Lex smacks down, and we can't really beat it. So, with a call to help from Martian Manhunter, we send for him to use the power of the sun to melt the mech. But it turns out that the sun needs to warm up.
Warming up! The sun is warming up! 1 second more, and just tippy tap, tip top more.
Not really, he just has terrible aim. So we have to build a ball holder and blast him with the full power of the sun. We get Lex to destroy the 3 boxes we need to make the ball holder and unleash the weapon upon him, blasting him 4 times. And then finally, we break the glass shell, keeping him safe, toss him out, and arrest him. Finally, the day is saved, and Batman learns the valuable lesson to rely on people, and they all laugh. But just as the credits are about to roll, we get a sneak preview to the next villain of the next game, Brainiac, which you can watch in the first video of this challenge for what he does. And finally, we finish the game with an 85% completion on the dot. Breaking that down, that is 100 out of 150 mini-kits collected, 16 out of 20 red bricks collected, 15 out of 15 true hero statuses unlocked, 225 out of 250 gold bricks grabbed, 47 out of 50 civilians in peril saved, and even though we don't actually see the number, I calculated 86 out of 105 character and vehicle tokens unlocked. This was a short playthrough for sure, and it was almost the same length as the LEGO Batman 3 playthrough, even down to how long the script was. 16 pages for that one, 16 pages for this one. It was also a little irritating with how I had to keep backtracking with getting collectibles, but hey, you all voted for this, so I played it. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this one, even if it was most likely short. It's probably going to come out around my birthday, so this is my gift to you, and if you want to wish me a happy birthday in the comments down below, you can. Make sure to subscribe and like the video if you want. I'm incredibly close to 500 subscribers, and it would be a dream if we got there before the end of the year. Also, go check out my TikTok in the link in the description. But that is all from me. I have been your host, Ghost Scout 29, and I will see you all next time. Bye!